Good morning everybody, welcome to Planespotting. I'm going to be here for the next few hours at Manchester Airport. We've got all the wide body aircraft today, we've got the 777s, 787 Dreamliners, we've got the Airbus A330s, A350s and A380 Super Jumbos, plus all the smaller regional jets, so it's going to be a good show today. The runways are extremely wet today because it's been raining. Hopefully it won't rain for the rest of the day now. Got a less than 5% chance, which is cool. It's just gone 8:15 and it is Friday the 16th of January. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and it's going to be a good one, this one. If you could do me a big favour, if you could quickly head into the comments and leave me a comment, that would be great. Let me know what your favourite aircraft is or where it is you're watching in the world. And as always, if you could do me the thing as well, that would be absolutely fantastic. I would appreciate that very, very much. Right, so just waiting then, we've got this EasyJet in front of us. It's going to Geneva. It's an Airbus A320-200. Registration is GEZUI. And this one first flew back in 2011. I think it's going to be sat there for a while. It's just waiting for its takeoff slot. So heading out in a minute or two will be the 777-300 Etihad Airways going to Abu Dhabi, which isn't in view at the moment, but as soon as it comes into view, I will definitely switch the camera over to that one. Right, so just coming into view then, we've got an Ethiopian Airbus A350-900 just behind the trees there. It's arriving from Geneva. First flew in 2016, registration is ET80R. Right, the plane coming into view now is a Lufthansa Airbus A320-200 arriving from Frankfurt. It's got its Star Alliance livery. Just coming in to land is a Singapore Airlines Airbus A350-900. It's coming in from Singapore. Right, so we've got a couple of planes heading for the runway. The first one here is the British Airways Airbus A320-200 going to London Heathrow. Registration is GEUUM. This one first flew in 2002. And coming into view any moment now, just behind this British Airways. We've got the Etihad Airways Boeing 777-300 going to Abu Dhabi. Registration A6 ETI, and this 777 first flew in 2011. Now, given that the British Airways has come to that particular entrance to the runway, excuse me, I think it's going to stop there, and I think we've got the 777 which will go before it. Right, so the British Airways is now on the runway, just making its final turn. And the EasyJet that's been sat there has also spooled up its engines. They'll be taking off shortly as well. Right, next up then we've got a TUI 737 MAX 8 going to Boa Vista. Registration is GTUML. This one first flew in 2021. Right, so as the runway dries out, we will get better visibility of the planes taking off. Right, next is Ryanair going to Dublin, 737-800, registration EIENF, first flew in 2010. Okay, so we've got the EasyJet is now making its way onto the runway. Just a quick recap, this one's going to Geneva, Airbus A320-200, registration GEZUI, first flew in 2011. Right, next on the runway we've got a Ryanair 737-800 going to Rome, registration 9HQCW, operated by Malta Air, and this one first flew in 2016. Right, so here's our Dreamliner. This is the 7879 Dreamliner. Qatar Airways going to Doha. Registration for this one is A7BHD, and this one first flew in 2019. So for those of you who don't know, the Dreamliners, the Boeing 787 Dreamliners, there's three different variants. There's the 7878, 7879 and the 78710, indicating the length, size. So this is the one in the middle, the 7879, and this is, together with the 7878, the more common one that we see here at Manchester. We do sometimes get the 10s in, but they're not quite as frequent as the 9s and the 8s. Okay, it's just waiting for a, what is it? It's a 737 Ryanair, just coming into land. I'll have some focus, please. This Ryanair's arriving from Belfast. And it's a 737-800. Okay, making its way to the runway now. We've got a Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. Qatar Airways going to Doha. Registration A7BHD. This one first flew in 2019. So for those of you who don't know the differences between the different Dreamliners, there's three different variants. The smallest ones, 7878s. The ones in the middle, size-wise, like this one is the 7879, and the largest are the 78710s. So here at Manchester we mostly get the 8s and 9s, sometimes get the 10s, just not quite as frequently. Right, we've got a few planes heading for the runway now. We've got this Jet 2 going to Rome. It's a Boeing 737-800, registration GDRTL. This one first flew back in 2013. We've got Jet 2 behind it, followed by an EasyJet, followed by a Aer Lingus regional. But let's stick with the Jet 2 for now. It's going to be the first one to take off. Right, next up then we've got this Jet 2 Boeing 737-800, registration GJZBT going to Tenerife. This one first flew in 2009. The sun's coming out, which is nice. Get to get some good light on the planes. Right, next up we've got an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Belfast, registration GEZTB, and this one first flew in 2009. Okay, on the runway next is an Aer Lingus regional, Emerald Airlines going to Belfast, ATR 72600. Registration is GCMMN, Mike November, first flew in 2013. What I do like about the propellered aircraft, filming them, is sometimes the rotation of the propellers matches the frame rate of the recording, so it can sometimes look like the propellers are still, not moving. It's quite a good illusion. Right, next up then we've got a Ryanair Boeing 737 MAX 8200 going to Malta. Registration EI-IHG, and this one first flew in 2023. Okay, we've got another propellered aircraft, an ATR 72-600, which is an Aurigny going to Guernsey. Registration is GPBOT. This one first flew in 2014. Next up then we've got a Jet 2 Boeing 737-800 going to Tenerife. Registration GDRTA. This one first flew in 2004. Next up we've got a British Airways Airbus A320-200. Registration is GEUUO, going to London Heathrow. This one first flew in 2003. Sorry about that, just lost the grip on the camera for a second then. Right, making its way to the runway, we've got a Swiss Airbus A320-200 going to Zurich. Registration is HBIJP. This one first flew in 1997. That's a good year, was 1997. Behind it we've got a KLM 737-800, registration PHBXE, going to Amsterdam. This one first flew in 2000. I've had a great question from a viewer. Danny asked me, Boeing or Airbus? Controversial. No, actually, I like both for different reasons. They both make great aircraft. I particularly like the 777s, 787 Dreamliners. I like the newer A330neos. I think they're really cool aircraft. The A350s are good too. And the A380 Super Jumbo. Right, next up then is the KLM. It's on the runway, all lined up, ready to depart. But yeah, I don't get too involved with that whole Boeing or Airbus thing. I like both. Right, we've got two planes heading for the runway. We've got this Ryanair, which is a 737-800 going to Dublin. Registration 9HQCV, and it first flew in 2016. And to the left of it, we've got a Dreamliner. It's a 787-9 Dreamliner. It's a TUI, and it's going to Bridgetown. Registration GTUIO. First flew in 2019. Right, so it looks like it's stopped just short of the runway for some reason. So it looks like the Ryanair's probably going to go first. Right, so the Dreamliner is now lined up, now ready to depart. Just waiting for its clearance to take off, waiting for the airspace in front to clear. Okay, just arrived a moment ago as a Gulf Air 7879 Dreamliner, arrived from Bahrain. But the next up to depart is going to be this Jet 2 Boeing 737-800 going to Prague. Registration is GDFW. This one first flew in 2000. Right, just coming into land then, we've got a Turkish Airlines Airbus A321neo arriving from Istanbul. This one first flew in 2023, I think it was. No, 2022, sorry. Registration is TCLTK. So again, you can see the engine nacelle there with the vertical black line. The gap, that's the reverse thruster, and any moment now that will close. Right, making its way to the runway then, we've got a Ryanair. It's going to Belfast. Boeing 737-800, registration GRUKK, and this one first flew in 2009. Okay, we've got another Dreamliner about to get to the runway to take off. This one is a Qatar Airways 7879 Dreamliner going to Doha. Registration is A7BHX, and this one is a new aircraft. It first flew in August 2025. Right, just coming into view then, we've got an Airbus A330-300 Virgin Atlantic, which is just arriving from Atlanta. Registration for this one is GVSXY, and it first flew in 2011. Right, this plane's an Aer Lingus Airbus A320-200, first flew in 2004, registration EIDH, and it's going to Dublin. Right, looking over towards the terminal area, I can see that the A380 has completed its pushback, so that will begin its taxi very shortly. It's currently about an hour late. Behind the A380 we've got a Jet 2 going to Fuerteventura, got a Jet 2 going to Funchal, and a Ryanair going to Oslo. And don't forget, whilst you're waiting for this to arrive at the runway, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and add a comment, say hello. Tell me what your favourite plane is. Right, so on the runway then we've got the Jet 2 going to Fuerteventura. It's a 737-800. Registration GDFR. This one first flew in 2003. Right, holding just short of the runway, we've got a British Airways going to London Heathrow. It's an Airbus A320-200. Registration is GEUUB. And this one first flew in 2001. So just a minute ago, I just had a notification on my phone. One of my viewers has left me a message, a comment on my last video asking what am I looking forward to most in 2026, which is an absolutely fantastic question. So what I'm looking forward to most, I'm hoping to see the certification and the introduction of the Boeing 737 MAX 7s and MAX 10s. That would be good if they can get that sorted out this year. Also the 777-10. I'm also looking forward to seeing more A330 Neos out and about. I know Virgin Atlantic are going to be getting some, so I'm hoping to see some of them at Manchester. If that happens this year, fingers crossed. It would also be good to see if Global Airlines, James Asquith's new startup. It'd be nice to see some action going on there as well. But I think most of all, I'm just looking forward to growing the channel, really. Just keep making videos for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, just keep improving what I do to make better content. How about you? What are you most looking forward to in 2026? Aviation or anything else? Let me know in the comments. Next up then we've got a Jet 2 going to Lanzarote. It's an Airbus A321neo. Registration GSUNM. And this one first flew in 2024. So when we talk about the Neos, like the A321neo, the A320neos, A330neos, Neo basically stands for new engine option. It's what the new planes have. Speaking of Virgin Atlantic, here comes one of their A330s. Now it's an A350, A350 1000. Going to Orlando, registration GVLUX. This one first flew in 2019. If you look at the wheels as it goes past, the rear wheels, you'll see that this one's got two sets of 6 wheels. That differentiates the A350 1000 with the A350 900. Right, next up then is an A350-900. This one is a Singapore Airlines going to Singapore, registration 9VSJF. So again, if you look at the rear wheels, this one's got 2 sets of 4. Okay, we've got another Airbus A350-900. This one is a Cathay Pacific going to Hong Kong, registration BLRC. This one first flew in 2016. Right, making its way onto the runway, we've got a Norwegian 737-800 going to Oslo. Registration LN MGM. First flew 2013. This one's got the Carl Nielsen livery. Right, this plane's a Turkish Airlines Airbus A321neo that's going to Istanbul. Right, next up we've got an EasyJet Airbus A320 going to Paris. Right, this one's an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Amsterdam. Right, the next one's a TUI 737 MAX 8 that's going to Tenerife. Right, this one is a Jet 2 going to Gran Canaria, Airbus A321neo. Right, next up then we've got a Hainan Airlines Airbus A330-300 going to Beijing. Registration B1096. Right, this one is a two-week 737 MAX 8 going to Hurghada. I just spotted that got this Jet 2. It's an Airbus A321neo, registration GSUNH, which I think is being pushed into the engine test bay. The fuel link that's just gone past. So just arrived from Barcelona, Airbus A320. Yeah, you don't get to see this too often. I usually miss it whenever planes are getting pushed into the engine test bay.
And you've already out there. I do a lot of travelling now. It's all domestic. Like Newcastle, Aberdeen. I was like, oh, travel, yeah, I'm just back from Australia. Well,
Right, just coming into land, we've got a Dreamliner. This one is a Saudia 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Jeddah. Right, next to take off we've got the TAP Express Portugalia Airlines Embraer E195 LR going to Lisbon. Right, next we've got Air France Airbus A220-300 going to Paris. And it's arriving from Dubai. Next up we've got a Gulf Air Dreamliner 7879 Dreamliner going to Bahrain. Right, just coming into view, there is an Airbus A350-1000, Qatar Airways from Doha. Right, just beginning its takeoff run is a Boeing 737 MAX 9, Icelandair going to Reykjavik. Coming into land next, then we've got an ITA Airways Airbus A320 arriving from Milan. Right, just coming into land then is an Indigo 7879 Dreamliner from Mumbai. Right, taking off now, we've got a TUI 7878 Dreamliner going to Punta Cana. Right, so next up then we've got the Junyao Air in the Oriental Ruby livery going to Shanghai. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Right, well I think that's me done then for the day. I have been waiting for an A330 Aer Lingus, a Norse Dreamliner and also an Emirates A380, but all three of those have been delayed quite significantly. So I'm just going to be stood around for ages, but I have got to go, I've got things to do. So I want to say a massive thank you to all of you who've made it this far. Please do let me know in the comments what you think of the video and what your favourite aircraft of today has been. Also, don't forget to give the video a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Helps the channel to grow, helps you to see more of the content that you like to watch. So yeah, that's me done for today. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you on the next video. Aceplanespotting out.
A few minutes later.
Right, so here's our Norse Dreamliner. I was just getting ready to go, and it suddenly appeared on the screen. So I thought, I'll quickly get my camera sorted and film this one. This one is a Norse 7879 Dreamliner, and it's going to Bridgetown. So this will definitely be the last plane of the day. I'll watch this one take off and then I've got to go.